Welcome back to another Success Secret, and today we're talking about relationships. We're talking about growth, we're talking about personal development, and what happens when you start to grow, right? I know that I've experienced this a lot, and I know I've had a lot of people ask questions. I see a lot of chat about this. Actually, you know what? I don't see enough chat about this.
And I think we're pretty well versed to discuss this because we've been with each other for almost 11 years.
Yeah, and this isn't going to be in relation to
Just relationships.
Intimate relationships. This can be platonic, meaning friendships. It can also be in regards to family members. But today we're answering the question. We're giving you our secrets on why is it when you're evolving, the relationship feel hard?
Yes. Why? I'll let you answer that first.
I think I'm going to take a breath, guys. I'm like, oof.
I can answer if you'd like.
No, okay. I can start.
Yeah, you can start. You start.
Yeah. I just feel a little out of breath. So why does it feel hard when you're evolving? Why do relationships feel hard when you're evolving? So what came to my mind instantly was that when you start to evolve and you start to grow, it can trigger a lot of people, right? When you start to do something that is out of the ordinary, whether it's out of the ordinary in general or out of the ordinary in your friendship group, your personal relationship, your family, it can really mirror back to other people what they want to do but are too afraid to do. And that can come out in someone who is not self-aware or lacking self-awareness as negative projection. They can throw all of the bits and pieces at you, and unconsciously, I would say, I don't believe that people who aren't mean are necessarily consciously aware. I think some people would say that they are, and that's a whole nother conversation. But for the benefit of the doubt, they're not aware, and they're projecting at you because their nervous system's dysregulated. Their inner child's being threatened, right? Their ego's being threatened, so they're gonna throw things at you to try and bring you back down in alignment where they are, so they feel safe, right?
Makes sense.
Because if you're not growing, it's not reflecting to them where they're not. So I think that's why when you start to evolve, relationships can be hard, because you're a mirror to the people around you. Like, you are my biggest mirror, I'm your biggest mirror. Your one-on-one relationship should trigger you like nothing else, and it will trigger you like nothing else. I think that's why relationships can be so hard.
This is a very interesting topic because as of late, since being back, and I've only been back 18, 19 days now, and I'm seeing a lot on social media where their partner, especially the female partner, where they want to do better in life, in the way they look, in business. And a lot of the males these days are having a lot of insecurities because their partner wants to evolve and do better. And that's such a shitty
I think
mindset.
It's interesting you say this. I think, we all have our individual things to work on, but I also believe in there being a collective consciousness.
Yes.
And I think right now we're going through this collective upgrade and paradigm shift around who we are as people in regards to, the collective narrative for at least Western culture, actually most cultures, is that the man works, the man does all the things, and the woman kind of just sits behind. The woman doesn't say much, good girls don't speak up. There's this whole narrative around women being more quiet. Women couldn't vote only X amount of years ago. There's all of these things, right? And I think that maybe why men are feeling so triggered is because they're being awoken, or they're waking up to the idea that we're actually all equal. That women don't need to outboss men, don't need to be hyper independent, but I think there's a space for men to share their gifts, women to share their gifts, and in this instance for women to be fit and healthy and men to be fit and healthy. But as women decide to step into that archetype and that higher version of themselves, it's going to trigger the man to step up if he's not stepping up, or it's going to trigger him to shift his belief system around it being safe for a woman to be successsul, right? It's a bit sad, but I can kind of understand it in the sense of
I honestly do understand it because when your partner is shifting and growing and you are comfortable staying where you are, it is uncomfortable. seeing them change, and then it sort of makes
Well,
you like, I have to fucking change.
No, well, let's be
And-
honest. Let's
and-
be honest, right? Anyone who is not secure in themselves
Yes.
will go, "Oh my God, she's gonna leave me. He's gonna leave me." That's like that's the deep down honest truth, right? Like, I think that's the deep down honest truth. Like, I'm not in everyone's brain, but if I had to guess what a specific headspace is, and I've heard this from people, is like, I know a lot of people said this to me when you were gone, like, "Oh, I'm worried, like, you're gonna outgrow Carlos." I was like, "What do you mean? Like, I am growing," and it was a compliment, like, "You're doing so well." But a lot of people were like, "Oh, is he gonna be afraid that you're doing so well? Or like, are you gonna do so well that you're like gonna leave him almost?" Like, as if like if I'm doing well and he's in jail, like I can't be by his
But
side.
it just shows you the thoughts of people.
Yeah,
And
that's-
it's a lack mentality.
And that's where I'm coming from, is I think a lot of people get worried if their partner is growing, or like someone in their family or their friendship group is doing better than them, that they're gonna be abandoned by that person. That person is no longer gonna love them. And I think like as you do grow, if people grow apart, that's okay. But I think that's where the worry comes from. And that's what I'm saying, like, I understand this, and I wanna shed like a very compassionate light to this, that if you're in that position, like, it's so fine, right? Like, none of us want to be abandoned. We all have this core wound of abandonment, right? Like, we all have this like deep down need to be loved, to be a part of a group. So, you know, our inner child, or that part of us that's not fully healed, is worried about people progressing beyond us, because we have this belief that they're going to leave us. And I think it's like that awareness of like, that could be why you're getting triggered. And if that's the case, it's okay. Like, that's so fine. You know, like, I've worked through that belief. Yeah. And it's about understanding that it's like, let them inspire you. Like,
there's two ways you can look at it. Like, looking at, they can inspire you so you can do better, or you can look at it as a negative thing, like, oh, fuck them, like, and just stay in the same comfortable spot and see them keep progressing. And then in a year or 2 years later, oh, how did they make it? You know?
Yeah, and I think most people who are here, I think everyone who are here don't want to be that person who looks back in 2 years and goes, "Oh, like, look at where they are, and like, I did nothing," and like step into the archetype of just spending the rest of your life hating on people. Like, I believe everyone that we've, you know, put into this group do collectively want to grow. So I think if you are having a moment going like, "Oh shit, you know, I am getting triggered by a friend, a partner, us, anyone, about the level of growth they're having," just ask yourself, hey, or like say to yourself, hey, like, this could be my ego, my inner child, like, acting up. If I just provide myself with more love, more compassion, and go, hey, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it. If my partner's doing it, so can I. If my mom's doing it, so can I. You know, if my best friend's doing it, that's a testament, that's a mirror. Like I said, everyone's a mirror. If you're evolving, it's a mirror as to why I'm not evolving, but it's also a mirror as to what I can evolve into as well.
100%.
Right? So it's how you look at it. So I think like if you're experiencing frustration or jealousy, have a look at how you can turn that into inspiration, shift your self-talk, tell yourself you can do it too.
Do you believe that when you feel that lack of someone doing better or evolving, it's because your body and your soul knows that you should be doing more than what you are currently doing, and that you are here on earth to have a bigger purpose, and you're not living up to that purpose, and that's why you feel that lack.
It's making you feel like shit.
And fear.
And you know what, like, so you should. And like, I say this because like I've experienced this, where it's like, you know what, and so you should. Like, you should be doing better for yourself. The amount of times I've been mirrored by you, it's mostly always you, that I'm not where I want to be in my life.
You need to play big.
I cry a hell of a lot. Like, I'm really hurt. I'm inside, like, it feels like a fucking terrible fucking come down, where like there's the inside of me wanting to like claw my way out, like, be quiet, la la la, like, I don't want to hear you. Obviously at the same time, I'm so grateful, and it's what I needed to hear, but it's something that like feels uncomfortable, right? But it's like, that's exactly what I needed to hear. It's what I needed to see. And it's why it feels so uncomfortable is because there's that part of me that goes, yeah, I've been telling you for the last 6 months, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years to do fucking better, and you've never done it. And right now your partner's telling you to do it. Like, you should feel a little bit like, like, I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's just like, yeah, like, you should feel a bit crappy because you've been hearing the signs. And every time I've been mirrored that I should be doing better by my partner, by someone I love, I'm most triggered because I've heard that within my head for years on end and I never did anything. So like, I just feel like I'm letting myself down. And that's like what I move through a lot. So I don't know if that's going to be everyone's journey, but I definitely know that it doesn't feel easy, and usually it doesn't feel easy because I've been hearing the signs for years and I never did anything.
And I love that.
Thank you.
For all you guys listening and watching, I encourage you guys, if you have a partner, a friend, a cousin, mum, dad, that are not living up to their purpose and you know they want to do better, encourage them to do fucking better and set the fucking standard. And as a true friend or as a true partner, whatever, it's your responsibility to fucking uplift them and tell them when they're fucking lying to themselves and pull them up on their fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I actually think, as you say that, it is your responsibility. When you're in partnership, it's almost a acclamation and it's a claim and it's a commitment to supporting each other to be the best versions of yourselves. It's not your responsibility to carry them up the mountain.
Yes.
If they don't want to change, they don't want to change. And that's a friend that you outgrow, okay? And we can talk about this in a second. But if they're changing, support them, encourage them, remind them that they're letting themselves down, remind them that they're letting down their promise to you and to themselves. Like, it's okay to be that voice of reason or like that reminder. May they cry? Well, I do. Every time you tell me that I should be doing better.
Yes.
With the commitments I said to myself, I usually do have a meltdown. Like, it's really hard to hear, and that's okay. And it's okay, and you know that. And I also like don't make you feel bad about it. I'm just crying, going, "Thank you so much. I needed to hear this, but it's hard."
Yes.
Like, it's never me like angry at you, but it's definitely hard. And I think that's hard to see someone. So if like that's how your partner responds, like all good, like give them a hug. But the point is, like, it's not easy. But I think if you're in a relationship with someone platonically, romantically, it is almost, I like that. It's your responsibility to remind them of their greatness and how great they can be.
So sometimes they don't see what they're doing because they're so used to it.
Okay, watch this, right? As you said, they will never, almost never see.
Yeah.
Because think about this, you have this hand here, like you can do this at home, okay? Hand here, you can see, right? So you can see, the closer your hand gets to you, you can't see that hand. So you are the closest thing to you. You can't see your bullshit. That's why you're in the Modern Millionaire or Elite Millionaire. That's why you're in private coaching with us. That is why you have someone beside you, whether it's your partner, it's a coach, it's a mentor, because you literally can't see yourself. That is literally why we stay stuck in the same patterns and cycles for years on end if we don't do self-development, if we don't have mentorship or coaching, because you cannot see your own bullshit. I think as you do develop, you start to see a bit more. But even still to this day, like the years on end I've been doing it for, and it's my profession, you still pull me up on shit that I fucking couldn't see. And I'm like, oh my God, like that is embarrassing. How have I not seen that?
This, yeah.
But you just can't see yourself. And that's just the reality of why having someone in your corner it's priceless. It's so important.
Oh, 100%. I couldn't agree more.
So,
I believe everyone should have a mentor or a coach or someone just from a different perspective seeing from the outside.
That's why, I love that we've created this, because I don't think you necessarily have to have like one-on-one and there's not someone outside of you that knows everything. But having these conversations to have different perspectives is absolutely key. It's eye-opening, right? I want to segue now into, the question was like, why, I keep messing this question up, but it's like, why is it hard?
So difficult when you start evolving.
Yeah, with relationships. Oh, why do relationships feel so hard when you're evolving? Okay, so we've kind of spoken about like, as in like the trigger.
Yes.
But also I want to talk about what do you, like, when to let go. Like this is my tough love coming in. This is my Scorpio sun coming in where I can just like close the door on someone. Like, you know me, if I don't like something, it's out and see you later, right? I think you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can tell someone that they could be doing better. You can want the world for them, right? But if they don't want the world for themselves, do not sabotage yourself in trying to save someone else. It's never gonna work. It's never gonna happen. The best way to help someone is to lead by example. And I would also ask the question, if you're trying to save someone, there's shit within you that needs to be worked on. We should never save someone. But I think there does come a point in growth, self-development, if you're evolving, that you're gonna leave friendships behind. Friendships of years on end, partnerships. I'm so glad we've always evolved together. Like we've always, as one of us grows, the other one seems to catch up. either way. But there's definitely going to be people, like the amount of friends that I am no longer friends with, because as I've evolved, it's been a trigger and they haven't evolved. It's been something that, I always say, like, I'm here for people, but I'm not going to be someone's punching bag. So I'm a big advocate. If someone's not growing with you, they don't get you, they don't see you, do not be their punching bag to like keep the peace. Like, sometimes you do need to let go and move forward. So that's my like honesty in that.
Not everyone's supposed to be in your life forever.
Yeah.
People are only supposed to be in your life for segments, and you learn and grow from those people, and you take what you want from that, and you keep evolving and keep shifting. If they keep shifting and evolving with you, they are your people that will be with you by your side the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But the ones that don't, you've learned what you've wanted, what you've got from them, and then you move on.
I think like the first time I ever left a friend behind that I experienced this with, it was challenging. Like it's never easy to like, and I think this would be the same in a relationship like as well. Obviously we're together, so I'm not speaking to that, but I can speak to it in terms of friendships. And like, I remember the first time I ever left a friendship behind because I believed that they weren't serving me anymore, and like we were no longer aligned. And I think no matter how peacefully you say something like that, I've always experienced the other person just not understanding, and it's difficult and it's hard, and it's like you're gonna be the bad guy in someone else's story. Like, I know for a fact there are a lot of people in the world that I'm gonna be the villain in their story, and I've had to like come to terms with that. And I think it's okay that not everyone understands you, and I think it's okay that not everyone gets you. And I think like that's where the hardest thing is. And I think, you're all on your own journey. So like, you'll do this if you want to do this, and you won't if you won't, whatever it is. But I just wanted to kind of say that it's like never going to be easy to walk away from something that's once served you that no longer is. And just because it no longer is doesn't mean it didn't serve you. I think that you can have gratitude and love and blessings for the time that you were connected with that person and the season that it was growth-minded and serving and bountiful and abundant and loving, and still know that they're not for you anymore. Like, I don't think it's like just because you're not friends with someone or a relationship with someone that the whole thing was fucked. It's just understanding, like you said, that some people are in your life for a season, and that's okay.
Yeah, I love that you say that, because there's a lot of stories that we could tell you, but I'm a very loyal person. Same with Ash.
Yeah.
But when I make friends with people, at the start, well, before I went to prison, I'm like, oh yeah, they're my mates, and I'd treat them as family, and I'd keep them so close to me. I'll give them everything, and like I never want to lose them because they're like my family now. And I had to learn that lesson the hard way. Now going into jail, coming out, I see who my true friends and my people are, and I've had to let go of a lot of fucking people that I used to care about, but it's for better. And it took me a lot to learn this lesson, because Ash, when she sees someone that's not in alignment to our values and to me and her, she goes, no, that's not my person. And she's ready to put the foot down and walk away. With me, I like to hold on a little bit more.
Well, the thing is, like, I think like I just learned the lesson earlier than you,
Yes.
because I'm the same. Like, like that's why I'm very loyal too, and like we've been together for so long. It's like I'm the same. Like when I love someone, like that's my personality. Like I'm all in.
Yeah.
But I've learned too that like holding on to something that's no longer for you and telling yourself it is only hurting yourself in the end, and also hurting that person too. So I think I learned just before you that it's not, I'd rather be the bad guy in someone else's story, and I'd rather have that uncomfortable feeling of like ending a friendship than, being in one that doesn't feel like it's serving both people. But it's hard.
Because you're doing both yeah, exactly.
But the more you do it, the more you get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable, and the more you get comfortable with, being a villain in someone else's story, creating conflict or however it comes up, like you just get comfortable with that, and you know what you're doing, and you understand if people don't get that. Doesn't mean you're wrong, and it's okay. You learn that, you build that emotional resilience, and you extend your emotional capacity, and like it just gets easier, But I do think that in terms of like why relationships do get hard as you're evolving is because not everyone's going to evolve with you, or as you're evolving, it's a mirror to them, and it can create that level of like activation and trigger, which can create a bit of conflict. But with enough compassion, love, understanding, self-awareness, having these talks and like seeing other perspectives, you can understand, oh, okay, that person's getting triggered right now, but they might be like getting, like, you might be projecting it onto me, but you know it's not about you. You know that their ego is just getting like activated. And you know, if you just hold a regulated state, and we can talk about that in probably another success secret, but regulating your emotions, you can hold that regulated space and hold space for them to get activated. They will like come down, they will thank you for it, and they will, you know, they will start to develop. And yeah, it's just not about you when someone else gets dysregulated.
I believe this comes back to still self-concept, because I used to feel like this a lot. Same with you. I don't know if I'm speaking right, but I used to see people that were successful in my industry doing really well, and it used to trigger me, and I'm like, fuck. But then it doesn't matter what you do. It's only to realize your own self-worth and respect that you are proud to see other people do so fucking well. And when I was in that state, I never realized what it was. Like, why would I be so triggered all the time?
You know what I think is interesting about that?
But now, yeah, like, I love to see everyone succeed, and it doesn't trigger me anymore.
You know what it is? I think it's all, like, there's so many things, right? Like, I think they're so deep with, like, why do we feel the way that we feel, and why do we get triggered? And, you know, I've had a lot of these conversations with myself and with other people, of course. But I think about what you just said, and, you know, I was the same. I experienced like seeing other people do well and like being triggered, being jealous, you know, making them wrong. Like, I've never been someone who's like bullied people, but like I would definitely have like a little bitch in my head about something for sure. And you know what I think is so fascinating? I want to share this because sometimes bringing light to like, why do we do the things we do? Why are we the way that we are? Why are we getting triggered? Why are we projecting onto someone that we love and making them feel bad? And
or someone else that's doing so well.
Who doesn't even fucking know you.
We should be so fucking happy for others that are doing so well. That should inspire you, not fucking bring you down.
So I think this is an interesting point of view as to like, where do things come from? Like, our self-concept gets made when we're as children, and you know, develops as we get older, and then unless we change it, it stays the same throughout the rest of our life, right? So I think back to all times that I was at school, right? You know, I went to a private school, but I think this is pretty much the same across all kinds of schools, is that you're definitely taught that there's a winner, right? Like, there's a winner in races, there's a winner in, like, there's an A+ student.
There's the Ducks Award.
There's the Ducks, right? Like, there's someone, like, and there's only one person. There's only one winner, right? So I think there's that part of us who gets brought up with this belief of there's only one winner, and if you don't win, like, you've lost. And I think there's also, as a part of like the schooling system, it's like, if you get a C, it's okay. If you get a D, you failed, you're not good enough, you have to repeat grades. Like, there's a lot of punishment involved and stuff like that, which, you know, can serve a purpose and, you know, whatever, like, that's a whole nother conversation. But I think that can create a little bit of a subconscious belief around wanting to really win, right? And like, and if someone else wins, well, then I can't win.
Yeah.
Someone else is the Ducks, well, then I'm not the Ducks. If someone else gets the award of the month, then I don't get the award, right? So I think there can be this belief system of there can only be one winner in the world, when the reality, or in industry, when the reality that like we can all win together.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, once you change your self-concept and how you perceive the world, and instead of coming from a place of lack and fear, which is a low vibration, you come from a place of abundance. And
exactly, and that's what I'm saying is, like, when we're children, when we're in school, when we're in, like, you know, like growing up, like, we are mirrored and we are taught and we are modeled verbally or physically, like in terms of what we see or what we hear, belief systems, you know, like, for example, because there's only one winner. So if we don't shed awareness or change our belief system, then it will stay the same. So I just wanted to like bring this into the conversation. Like, it doesn't have to be this deep, but at the same time, there are subconscious blocks, and they do come from modeled behavior, from as a child. And this could be for you like a core block or a core wound of like, when you're in school, you were shown the belief that there's only one winner. So now as an adult, you think that only one person can win. So when there's someone winning, you think that you can't, and then you start to, you know, like bring them down. When the truth is, guys, like, there can be multiple winners. And I'm sure consciously you know that, but if you feel like someone triggers you and makes you feel jealous and makes you feel like that you can't win too, then subconsciously you have that belief that there can only be one winner.
So there's only one way to change that.
Yeah. So it's just like bringing light to like, like, if I get triggered, if I feel jealous, there is a subconscious block that's out of alignment with what I want, meaning consciously you believe there can be multiple winners, but subconsciously you don't. So when you see someone win, you get triggered because your belief system, your inner child, your subconscious mind says there can only be one. And in this instance, it's not you. So your ego gets threatened, you get scared, you project, you bring them down, you bully them verbally, internalize it, you beat yourself down, whatever it is. Just know that this negative pattern can be changed, and it comes down to rewiring your subconscious, so becoming aware of what belief could be there and instilling a new one, right? So I think like it is that deep, but at the same time, you don't necessarily have to go that deep. If you feel like you're getting triggered, you could just literally start to affirm a new belief, which is there are multiple winners and I am one of them. That's a really great mantra, really great affirmation.
There's abundance of money.
There's abundance of money. There's abundance of success.
Clients, whatever
I
it
am
is.
successful. I'm a winner. We're all winners. Like, you can be as creative as you want with these affirmations, these beliefs, but like we've said multiple times within, coaching and in the Modern Millionaire, is that repetition dissolves disbelief. So choose a new belief. If you notice you're getting triggered, you don't have to go so deep into where it come from. Whilst it can be fun, like I just gave an example, you don't have to. All you need to do is decide, what belief do I want to have, and just choose that and stay diligent at it and consistently ingrain it within your mind until it becomes your new belief system, and your conscious aligns with your subconscious, and you're no longer getting triggered when previously you were. That's when you know that you've rewired your mind, and it gets to be that simple. Yes. So it's okay if you get triggered, right? I think a good takeaway here is like, it's okay if you're the person that's getting triggered. You're the person that's negatively like outward blaming. What's important here is that you take responsibility for it and you rewire it. Or if you're the person that feels like that person, is at you and they're not changing, then it's okay to let them go. That's just part of growth.
Because I can promise you guys, once you make that change and that perspective shift, life does get to become so abundant in all areas of life, in success, in business, in relationships, spiritually, everything. And it is that fucking simple.
I'm just gonna laugh because you drank all the coffee. I was like, is there any in here?
I left your favorite one.
Thank you. But yeah, I 100% agree with what you just said. So I think this is a good ending. I think we can round this up. Like, why do relationships get hard when we start to evolve? What you can do, whether you're the person that's making it hard or you're not. I think we've shown both sides well, yeah?
100%.
Amazing.
Another episode.
Yeah.
Done.
Love you guys.
Big love.